we are live with the podcast today. We have the first podcast with two guests actually,
Oh,
and rightfully so. This is a good one. To start out with two guests, we have Kyedae and TenZ. How are you both doing today? If one of you wants to start.
I guess I'll start first. Or do you want to start first, Ty?
I'm doing good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so am I. I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I mean, there's no words to describe on how, this opportunity. I'm doing fantastic. I had a little bit of a mini freak out earlier, just because of the circumstances that I was put into today, but it was a good one. I talked to my mom just like 5 minutes before getting on here, and she was like, "This is everything that you wanted for so long," and it was good words from Mama Texture.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, so I'm super excited to talk to you guys today. I do want to start out. I'm gonna direct this one towards Tyson. So you started out obviously playing CS. What was your first game that you really got into and grinded and put a lot of hours into?
Yeah, definitely CS. Like I initially I played CS. I used to play like a bunch of mini games. So like have you ever played CS Texture?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, like the mini game lobbies.
Yeah.
So like the multi games. I used to play like just the absolute shit ton of that. So I probably have like 3,000 hours minimum in those servers alone. And I'd just play those servers, and then eventually like I started playing like the actual game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, all that training from mini games paid off, and I was like hitting nutty shots, I remember, and I was like, damn, like this is actually kind of fun. And I started grinding really hard.
How do you know how many hours you have in like now, like after everything is done in CS?
I definitely have over 10,000. I know on my Steam account it says like a little under 9,000, but I played on like other accounts that do have over 1,000 hours.
That's got to be the most like you played a game, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Kyedae? About 10,000 hours in a game?
What was it again? I think when I first started dating him, we calculated it, and that was like over a year or so. Like just sitting and playing a game. I was like, oh my goodness. But honestly, I think in the end, it definitely paid off because he's super successful now, and I'm really happy to see it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. I consider, it might be odd for you to hear, but you hear it all the time. I consider you to be the best player in Valorant. Like, there's one clip on Haven where you go out onto the flick onto like the A connector, or do you know what I'm
Oh
talking?
yeah,
That
with
flick.
Yoru, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Tyson, that like insane flick shot that
Yeah.
you did, and you even reacted to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about like the 360s?
Yes. Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you went
That one
crazy.
was cool.
That's that's a clip I send to people who don't understand Valorant, but they're like, that was crazy. Like that's just insane. I'm like, yeah, that's TenZ. He's the best. Is it? Do you? If I'm not mistaken, does your grandma have a lot of hours in League?
Dude, my grandma she has more hours in League than I do in probably both CS and Valorant combined. Like her League hours is actually disgusting. I think she's like the second highest level in League right now. Like she's almost like level 1,000.
Yeah.
And I don't even know like how you play that much and how you're able to grind that hard. But my grandma's like, she's a super gamer. Like before that, she played Path of Exile. She goes really into Path of Exile. She played Final Fantasy. So she's really like into MMOs, and then I introduced her to League, or my uncle did, and then she's just started grinding it.
So it runs in the family. I didn't
Little
know if
bit.
I didn't know if that was a joke or not. Like,
Oh,
Oh no, it's crazy.
it's serious.
Yeah, when she hits 1,000 hours, we're gonna be going over and getting her like a cheesecake with 1,000 on it.
Like the level 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was funny. Kyedae and I were talking to her. She's like, how long do you think? And she looked at us and she's like, less than a month, or something like that.
Crazy.
So I don't want to talk about CS too much because I do want to get more onto current stuff, but I do want to talk about the process of your thought process on switching to Valorant. Was that a big decision in your head? To I mean, because it is kind of like a leap of faith, but it is also Riot that is backing it. So how was that for you?
Yeah, logically, when I was thinking about the move, I knew that. So originally, what happened was I didn't have too great of a time in CS, and then also there was this thing happening where there was two leagues trying to like control the pro scene in CS:GO. So it was Flashpoint and then ESL, and so like I personally think that the division of like leagues and not having everyone on the same league or like the same page, it kind of like doesn't create the best pro environment, and therefore I didn't really see Counter-Strike as that sustainable. And I've seen League of Legends and Riot how they do stuff, and I knew for a fact, what the fuck, there's a fly in my room. Um, I know for a fact that they'll know how to run a game and run an esport.
Mm-hmm. Um, when did you come in? When did you guys start dating, and where was Tyson at that point, Kyedae?
So we actually met what, Ty?
So
Like well, the first time we met, I would say was when I was in grade 8. You were in grade 8 as well.
yeah,
But we didn't really talk too much. I would say it was mostly like senior year of high school. Was when we started to get to know each other a lot better. Like just before graduation and everything. And that was just before he moved. And then he moved over to LA. And then he came back for a players break, and I think that's when we started talking more again, and that's when we like made it official. And so I'm just trying to, like, I don't want to ramble too much about all of this, but yeah, so he signed with C9 and he came back. And is that when you got benched, Ty? Or not yet?
I didn't
Oh,
get
not
benched
yet,
yet.
right?
No,
Yeah,
no.
he wasn't benched yet, but so he was here for a players break. We started dating, and then he flew back out, and then he was getting homesick, so I flew over there for a bit, and like I wanted to meet like some of his teammates and stuff. And like I don't want to get too into it or anything, but yeah, I don't know. Everything felt kind of like off with just like team dynamic, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I flew back because I'm still I was still in school, and I still am, but and then after he got benched, and it was kind of, for me it was rough seeing all of it kind of like not necessarily crumble, but everything that he was so passionate about, like when we first started dating, kind of die out. And like I really cared for him. Like I've seen the progression of like, or what I would consider for him like the lowest of the low for gaming, all the way to his like not even his peak now, but like he's doing so well, and it just makes me so happy to see like all of his success and just kind of like it unravel kind of in front of me. But yeah, I've seen basically from the start to now.
Mm-hmm. Were you into that scene at all before that, or so? What has it been like to kind of come into all this?
It's been kind of crazy and surreal. I don't know. Like I remember when we first started dating, he would stream CS on Twitch. And like so I got kind of like an idea of what it was, and it's like the streaming platform, but like I never watched anybody, so I didn't really know who else was on it. Like whenever I had to go to the washroom or something, I would ask him to tilt his camera down so I could walk across the camera, because I hated being on screen. I hated being filmed, anything. So, I wanted to keep it super, super private for, like just for the sake of both of us, I think, more than anything else. And then it's when you started like gaining popularity in Valorant, and I had a few friends on the internet scene, as well as like Tyson, kind of like trying to convince me to start streaming as well. They were like, "Oh, you should just see how you like it." And so I haven't even streamed for a full year yet. But last year on October 31st was like our first stream together, and the first time like his fans got to meet me, and we did like a pumpkin carving kind of thing for Halloween. And that's like the first day that I actually started streaming, and kind of took off from there.
what has it been like for you, Tyson, to see how, because she's not just, you know, your girlfriend who just streams. She is a streamer. Like, she's a good streamer and very respected, and you know, a part of 100 Thieves now. Like, what has that been like to see that progression of her?
Definitely from the start, I already knew that Kyedae would be a natural at streaming because she's very charismatic and she's a lot more extroverted than I am for sure. So I didn't have a doubt that she was going to like make it big. I just didn't know like how long it would take. And I remember in the first like 2 months of her streaming, and this flies. Okay, sorry. Okay, the first few months of her streaming, I remember I looked on her like business inquiries email, and it was a message from 100 Thieves or an email from 100 Thieves. I was like, what? It's like already, and damn, it's like when you it's like you have a kid and then you watch the kid like grow up like in an instant. I don't know how to explain it. That was crazy.
What?
Yeah.
So, how you joined 100 Thieves? Is it, if I'm not mistaken, 5 months ago?
Yeah, in April.
April. Okay. How long did that? How long was that in the works? And was that something that you were interested in? Because for me, from the outside looking in, like, you know, you're a big supporter of, you know, the Sentinels and everything like that. But what was that decision on, you know, representing a different organization? I mean, a good one, a very well respected and a good organization like that. But what was that process like, in your thoughts on doing that?
So I did get offers from other orgs. I won't really name them, but after looking at like all of my options, I thought that 100 Thieves was definitely the best in my opinion, especially with helping out creators, you know, kind of grow and help nurture them and everything like that. So that being the reason why I did choose them. And honestly, I think it's best that Tyson and I aren't on the same org, I feel like. And it's like hard to kind of explain, but in a sense, like we already spend a lot of time together. We live together, and
Mhm.
you know, we're still really young. Like I'm 19, he's 20. But I've like been living with him for like more than half of our relationship. So in that sense, like we already spent a lot of time together and always like talk with each other and stuff. So I
Mhm.
think like just adding in work with that would just be like not necessarily too much, but we do need that like time away from each other just to kind of like do our own thing and have things to actually talk about.
Mhm.
So that was another reason why I just thought it'd be good to represent a different org as well.
I
Mhm.
I'm gonna say that looking at it like it's much better us working in the same field rather than us working in the same office, because if we're working under the same org, we're always going to be doing content together. We're always going to be doing like everything together, and it's definitely good like in a healthy relationship to have your time away and like be able to be yourself for a bit.
Mhm. Yeah. 100%. Um, I personally have been, you know, I came from the Call of Duty scene, and so I've watched 100 Thieves, you know, completely just, you know, blow up and go from the first days of it to where it is now. Um, I do want to talk about Nade Shot for a little bit because that's someone that I admire. I know that he's, like, I know for a fact that he's, you know, been here and he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. Was he a big has he been a big help? I assume so. And because you said you've been not been streaming for, or you've been streaming for under a year. So it is kind of somewhat new, and you know, you do need some sort of help in a sense of guidance. But how has he been?
Oh, he's been absolutely amazing. Like, he is a really busy person, so I'm not always able to talk to him, but
Mm-hmm.
there's like a lot of staff to back it up as well. But when I am talking to him, or we have like team dinners, or you know, like with my team and his team, and we all go out, like it's just really nice to just sit down and talk to him just about everything, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because he's started 100 Thieves from like the ground up,
Yeah.
and he's grinded super, super hard, and he definitely deserves to be where he is at now. Um, but just talking to him, I can just tell he genuinely cares about all the talent and everybody that, work for him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's funny. He's a super outgoing person. It's like just a bright light, and regardless of how much like energy you have or how much you could like even try to match it, you'll never compare to like his energy level. It's absolutely insane. I don't know. I'm sure you can agree with that, Tyson.
Yeah, I have never met someone more like I don't know how to explain it, like passionate or like he's very expressive, very like himself. Like nobody else is like Nate. He's himself.
Yeah. So, like, I just think in the whole process of everything from being picked up to, like getting to meet him and talk to him, as well as other
Mhm.
creators, like, yeah, he's definitely been a big help for sure.
Yeah. I do want to pause for a second. I did get a Discord notification. I forgot that I turned my online off. I'm gonna turn Do Not Disturb off or on quickly.
Sounds good.
Okay. Um. All right. I'll just cut that out. Going off the nade shot leadership. Your teammate Tyson. Is someone. Shazam, is someone that I've watched from. I wasn't into CS a ton, but when I watched him back when he was on Optic many years ago, that is someone that I gravitated towards because of his laugh. That is the one thing that I noticed when he was in the Optic videos. I was like, I love this guy. I love his energy. And so I had been following Shazam for a while, and then when Valorant came out, and then everything that transpired. And he's, you guys are one of the top teams in the world. And so naturally, Shazam was my favorite player, so Sentinels was my favorite team, and then that's kind of everything. But he is also, your guys' IGL, and not only just an in-game leader, but I assume he has been here for a long time, so he knows what's going on and what to do. So how is that as a player to player relationship gone in his leadership?
Yeah, so definitely like looking at Shaz, he's the team dad for sure. He does everything. Like I'd say all of us were like his kids, and then he's just hosting like a school for us. But he's very like experienced, he's very mature, but then at the same time I would say we're not too far in like an age range from him. So
Mhm.
at the same time he still knows how to have fun, and I feel like maybe sometimes if you have like a huge age gap within the team, like a 16-year-old and like 30, you might not have like the same chemistry. But I feel like I'm just saying like it's really like easy to get along with people like roughly in your same age range.
Yeah. Yeah.
When-
What were you gonna say?
so I just get when he said 16 and 30, like I don't know why there two people just specifically popped up in
Yeah.
my head.
Same.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm stating like a broad like
No,
topic right
I
there.
get you. I get
Mhm.
you. Um.
Just like the different views on life and like different speeds at which the people like I don't know, like a 16-year-old might be really fast, whereas like the
Yeah.
30-year-old might be just like have a slower life. You might like be more chill and stuff. So it's like sometimes like a lot of people that are like older will get annoyed by kids or something like that, or
Yeah.
like
Yes, that's true.
so that's why I was like putting that into a topic because like I know looking at me sometimes like if a kid's like a little bit too like woohoo running around the house, I might be like like
You don't have the energy for that.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is a different. Obviously, I'm not a pro, but like I assume it's a different. There's lots of different styles of play. It might not mesh together well. Just certain things. I mean, everything's got to be taken into account when it comes to how that relationship is mend together. Do you feel as if that you kind of do you I'm kind of blanking on that question. I do want to. I'm just gonna transition to just some little questions that that might just be like one-liners or something. I am curious what mouse are both of you guys using?
Oh,
Starlight.
Starlight.
Oh, okay. How are you liking it?
Do you want to go first, Ty? You're like the most expert.
Well, you can go first because I'm kind of like
In
I'm
depth.
I'm different with the mice, so
Okay. Yeah, so like I've tried a wide variety of mice, and like I
Mhm.
know a lot of people don't watch me for necessarily gameplay, it's more personality. But I don't know, like I heavily rely on like my wrist. So
Mhm.
I like something super, super light.
Mhm.
And this is literally like the lightest mouse on the market right now. And I love it. And you know, it's a lot better. Like it just feels like it fits in my hand better than like the G Pro, which
Mhm.
just like really uncomfortable. It's too big. Yeah.
I'd say for me, I like the mouse a lot too. I'm always weird with mice. Like one day I'm feeling something, one day I'm
Mhm.
not. Like I'll literally like drop a 30 bomb in like a map, and then suddenly I'll just be like, you know what, this is not the mouse, and then switch. And so I always do this thing where like I just switch back and forth between different stuff. But right now I definitely think this is probably the best mouse for me, and that's why I'm giving it a whirl.
I have been using the Superlight recently, which I personally love. Um, and I what also another thing is the mouse pad. What what pad are you both using?
Okay, so actually, I got this sent to me by a company. Oh, is it Ty? What is it called? GameStop? What is it?
Not
Ty-
GameStop. It's like
I
it's
don't know
it's
anything about anything.
um
I'll pan it down, but it's like a pinky
is it no
swirl.
no what's the logo in the middle?
G something. Let me just double check. They sent it to our
GS?
yeah. They sent it to our PO box.
Yeah,
I have like their thing.
I don't remember the brand.
Oh no,
It's like
my bad.
gaming
Game.
score or something like that. I don't remember.
It's like I have the box. Be right back.
Okay. Um right now I'm using the Artisan. I actually do like the Artisan. It's nice.
What um what hard like
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah, I'm on the 0 with extra soft.
okay. I haven't pulled the plug on an artisan mousepad yet, but I get told to a lot, and
Yeah, okay.
give me
Straight
some
up with the
insight.
Artisan pad.
Yes.
I do think it is overhyped. Don't buy it for like you know how they have like insane and like imported fees. So like
Yeah.
for example, I bought my mouse pad for like $120. That is just that's not it. That's not the play. But like if you go to Japan and they have like the artisan store, like an artisan pop up, you can actually buy the mouse pad for like $50 or something like that. If
Okay.
you can get the mouse pad for that price or like 50 $70 range, I definitely think it is worth it. These pads are a lot faster than normal pads that I've used before. Like
Mhm.
that's why I had to go to the extra soft. I was using the soft prior. But even the soft was like I couldn't control it. It's just way too quick.
Mhm.
I couldn't figure out the brand.
It's okay.
I lost it.
It's all right. Well, do you like it? Have you enjoyed it so far, or do you not
I do
notice
really like
anything?
it. Yeah, I really like it. What was the one I was on, Ty? God, it was like the Logitech one,
Oh,
Mhm.
you
the
were on the
GSR
G640 or something like that?
G640. Oh God, you have to
Is
like
that the
replace it all the time. But you know what
Mhm.
I did? Well, I only use like a small portion of my mouse pad because I use wrist and
Mm.
higher sense. I just flipped it around and I use the other part of it. But yeah, good.
um, yeah, I'm a person who I really enjoy mouse pads, and um, like I was telling Tyson that I was planning on getting a artisan one, but it's just I can never justify spending, because they are every place you look they're like $100. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. Trust me. Like
One
they're
thing,
nice, but I don't
yeah,
know.
one thing with the artisan pads that I do quite enjoy is a lot of mouse pads have coating on them. And the coating will normally wear off within
hmm
like 2 to 3 months. So, what mouse pad are you rocking right now?
I use the Glorious X XL or something.
Okay. I've never used a Glorious before, but like looking at like maybe like the GSR, like the Logitech one that Kyedae said, or there's like a HyperX mousepad, the Fury. Like
hmm
The
those
Fury.
mousepads have a coating, so the mousepad feels really amazing for the first like 2 to 3 months, depending on how much you play. But after then, it will feel really like different and not so great.
hmm
And what I like about the Artisan pad is no matter the humidity, no matter what, there's no coating on it. You can wash it. It's definitely like a long-term pad that'll feel the same no matter what, and that's what I kind of enjoy about it.
Yeah, it's I've definitely heard good things about it, but um, so you got back from Berlin not too long ago, correct?
Yeah, this was like a month ago.
Yeah. How was that? It was super exciting to watch. I mean, the Valorant productions, everything is just incredible. I really enjoyed watching. I watched your stream, Kyedae, of all of it. And how was that for you being there firsthand experience?
First-hand experience, it was pretty cool. It was cool to see all like the different stuff that they did between like Iceland and, man, this fly is, wait, I think I caught it with my hand. Um, Dude, this thing is taunting me, but it's really cool to see like the different levels of like how they're trying to increase the production. So the first um the first LAN, it was just like a normal stage, whereas like this one had a fully like glass stage, and there's like TVs on the bottom, so they could like create the images of like the map or stuff.
Oh,
I remember,
that's what it was.
yeah, yeah. So I remember we were at, like before the match was starting, and I was looking down at the ground like in the middle of the stage from my seat, and I went, "Wait, guys, look it's on the map in the middle. I didn't even notice." And everyone's like, "You didn't see it?" Like I was so like blown away by just like the different levels of stuff. But yeah, firsthand, like it was fun. Everything was fun.
I imagine from what I've seen of like the old CS lands, I even played at a Call of Duty LAN event back in like 2015 with the the jank LAN events where they're like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
set up tables and stuff like that. So I've experienced a little bit of that, but what was your like? Did you play in those, you know, messed up
Yeah.
LAN events?
Yeah, so I played, wait, so you played from console, right?
Yeah.
So did you have to bring your own Xbox?
No, we they had some there.
Oh, okay, okay. So like a lot of the lands that are locally hosted are just kind of like they don't have um the greatest budget. They're
Yeah.
not able to buy their own PCs, so a lot of the time you have to like bring your own PCs. This happened a lot in CS. So a lot of like lands I went to were in Vancouver, so I had to take like a 3-hour ferry to go to Vancouver from my island, Vancouver Island,
Mhm.
and I would have to lug around my PC and my monitor. So what I did was I got this big suitcase. I just stuffed my PC into the suitcase, and I got the monitor. I put it on top, and I would like I would have both of them stacked up, and then I would hold them and just like run with it. And man, it was awful. Like commuting to places with just like a PC and a monitor, not the greatest thing. And one time I was almost late for the ferry, and I had to run because the ferry was leaving in 5 minutes. So I actually had to sprint with those two things, and I almost like dropped it.
That doesn't sound very fun. I couldn't even imagine bringing my own, PlayStation, let alone a whole computer.
Yeah.
What about I've heard some things from streams and stuff about you guys possibly moving to Los Angeles. Is that
Yep.
is that a plan? And do you guys have like a timeline or what? Like what's the deal with that?
I personally think we'll be moved by next year,
Yeah.
but I did some big dumb things. I lost some important documents someplace, and so I had to. Everything's getting delayed because of me.
We had to reorder some documents from the government, which takes like
Okay.
almost a month and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're yeah, November is really, really busy. We're actually going to be, they haven't announced this yet. I don't know when they're gonna announce this, but we're going over for a
Are you supposed to leak that?
you can cut it out. In at the beginning of November, mid November, Tyson has some photo shoots and stuff to do with the Sentinels team in LA.
Mhm.
And then end of November, I think we're both going to Berlin. So we don't really
Mm.
have much time to do a lot of moving and stuff until after Champions, most likely. But we'll probably be signing our lease to a place when we are in LA for like the mid-November period.
Are you guys
So
excited for that to move to
Yes.
LA?
yes, I'm really excited, but I don't know. There's
Mm.
a lot of like things to worry about too, I guess. I don't
Hmm.
know.
I mean, you.
Healthcare is not free over there.
Oh, trust me. I know. I have like I told you guys before. I won't get too into it, but uh, I have diabetes, and here it is the worst to have a
Yeah,
disease.
I heard that like some people actually just die because they can't even afford their medicine.
Uh
Shit.
huh. Yeah, I mean, the big thing that everyone says is turning 26 is a death sentence because that's when you get off your parents' health care in America. So it is.
Ugh.
I mean, I'm. You don't have to worry about me, but I'm very fortunate to be in a situation that I am, but other people are not. So that's one of my big missions, as a content creator, is to advocate for stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
But going off that topic, what is something that you guys like about America that Canada doesn't have? Something light, you know.
Something I like about America, they have Chick-fil-A. I mean,
You guys don't have Chick-fil-A?
We
at least
do in like major cities, but we live in a really small town. We have like
Mm-hmm.
what, 90,000 people in it?
I don't know. It's only really small,
It's pretty small for us.
Ninety
but like
thousand small for you?
we don't even have like a 24/7 McDonald's where we are. So
Yeah,
like
it sucks.
at midnight, it's just like if you're hungry, you're fucked. Like I'm
Yep.
sorry. If you don't
No,
have
you're good.
if you don't have a stockpile of food, you're dead. Like
Well, I grew up in a town with 2,000 people in it.
Oh my
oh okay.
God.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
No more
why I was.
complaining for us.
No, no, it's good. But I also grew up in the middle of Iowa, so like it's not. There's nothing. My backyard was a cornfield, and I'm not exaggerating.
Oh wow.
And I mean, I still live in Iowa, but I live in a bigger city now. But yeah, I didn't think 90,000 was too small.
Was there a 24/7 McDonald's there?
No, we didn't have a McDonald's.
What? Okay.
Okay.
The only thing that you would probably know is that we had two restaurants, but one that you would know, and it's Subway. And so
Okay.
I ate Subway for 18 years of my life until I moved out of it.
Oh my.
Oh.
It was awful. It was awful.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you guys will miss about Canada, though?
The scenery. I have not been a really outdoorsy person after starting to date Tyson. But before I used to like really do like a lot of outdoorsy stuff. I went sailing with my dad when I was younger. I did a lot of like skiing, soccer, swimming, like all
Mhm.
that stuff. And here on the island, a lot of people like travel around the world to like come here and see everything. So I think that's one thing I'll definitely miss. It's just super beautiful.
Yeah, I'll definitely say I've been taking it for granted my entire life because I've only lived here, and I think a lot of the time when you live somewhere, you might not appreciate the things that are like special to this area. So
Yeah.
something that's special, which I was really disconnected from, and Kyedae kind of pulled me into, was more of like the nature aspect of where we
Mhm.
are. We're on the islands. There's water all around us. There's trees all around us. A bunch of hiking trails. There's a bunch of stuff you can do, zip lining, everything outdoorsy. And it's just like an amazing place if you're really like athletic or um, a healthy person. Um, but I know for a fact, like when you go to the city, there's not necessarily like a day where you can just be like, oh, let's go to the river and just jump in, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely one thing that I'll miss because we were like pretty spontaneous about when we did like outdoorsy things.
Well, do you guys travel? I mean, I know you obviously, Tyson, have gone to Iceland and Berlin in the past couple months, but have you guys gone any places like really cool?
Well, I would sometimes just go wherever he went for like CS. Like I was in Japan for a funeral. But he was in Dubai for CS, and so I flew over there, and
Okay.
that was an experience. I wouldn't say it was like the most fun in the world, but it was something new.
Dubai is crazy. We got lost in the mall for like 6 hours. We were
Yeah.
trying to find the how to exit the mall for at least minimum 2 hours.
We
Like we
kept
were looking.
circling the same wing.
Yeah, no, we
One
circled.
wing is like, oh my god.
No, it blew our world when we were trying to exit too, and then we discovered this new area that we never discovered, and this new area led to 3 different new areas. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, did you know there's an upstairs? I was like, oh my god, it's too much. Like,
There's a lot.
we were completely lost.
And there's a whole ass aquarium in the mall. Like a whole aquarium, and it was insane. We went like through like the tube. There's just a lot of stuff. I don't know. Like we're planning to go to Japan. We were planning for December, but that's probably not going to happen with COVID and everything, but hopefully by next year restrictions will be a little bit lighter, so we'll be able to go. So, that's one place we are definitely looking forward to.
How is that? I mean, you guys are, like you said, on an island, but how is the kind of COVID craze over there?
As of right now, like no cases, or like, well, not no cases, but it hasn't really been spiking a lot. I think that's more on the mainland more than anything else. Like we're pretty good, and only vaccinated people are now allowed to go out and eat in public and stuff. So
Okay.
you know, it's a lot better, I'd say.
And is all do all the Sentinels players, do they all live in Texas? Right?
Yeah, they live in Austin, Texas.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I thought this was cool. Do they all live in the same apartment complex?
Yeah, so they live like they're all like walking distance of each other. Like you could
Okay.
literally like Shaz could leave his apartment, walk to Zom's place in like a minute, or like Dapper, he could probably walk to like their place in like 3 minutes or something like that. So they're all like relatively in a close area. Some of them are in the same area, but others are like in a different building.
I brought that up because I saw a clip of, it was like Shaz or Zoms. They went to give him one of the, is it the Starlight mouse? I saw him. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh,
I was listening.
I don't know. They went to go run and grab a final mouse, and I just thought it was funny. I do wanna I wanna touch on something that I found quite interesting. You have your collection on Valorant. You go for a red theme.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that you don't buy skins that often. You don't have as many skins as people thought you would.
Yeah. I see as like skins are things that I will buy only if I'm gonna use. And so in a game like this, I'm not gonna just buy every skin to have every skin. Like I think it's kind of like a waste. I could dude, you could probably like with all the skins that are coming out, you can put like a down payment on a house. These skins are expensive. Like these bundles. So really, like I only realistically buy skin bundles that I know I'll try out or I'll know I'll use, because what's the point of me owning like the World War themed skins if I'm never going to touch them? What's the point of me having like Prime 2.0 if I don't like any of the color schemes? So I'm just really like, I try to save where I can, and I still like spoil myself a little bit.
I regret. You're making a good choice, because I regret buying so many skins that I bought. Like the Origin bundle, I never touch it. And
Yeah,
I
me
hate it.
either.
Yeah, I don't touch Origin either, and Alan had a red one.
I just convinced myself it's all tax write-offs. It's
Yeah,
so
no,
bad.
no, Kyedae.
Yeah, I'm guilty of exactly what Tyson doesn't do. It started off with the glitch pop, and all my moderators, like my Twitch moderators, I'm like really close with them. But they were like, "Wow, it's like super cute. I really like it." And I had never bought anything prior to that bundle, and I was like, this is such a dog shit bundle. What are you guys talking about? And they're like, no, it's so nice. So I looked at the variant, and like I think I just like in my head convinced myself I liked it even though I didn't. Like the red, gold, and black variant of it.
Mhm.
So I bought the whole collection, and then that's where the addiction started. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I have the skins for these guns. Now let's go on to all of the others. And now I have so many knife skins. So oh god, it's just bad.
I feel like the way that the skins are like produced, it kind of makes you feel like you're like a Pokemon trainer and you have like a Pokédex and you're trying to collect them all. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it literally like taunts you when you open up the thing. It's like, oh, 15 out of 26 are owned. It's like, what? It's like I want to collect all of them.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think if you actually bought every single skin in the game, I think it would be at least like $10,000.
There's
Like,
one person that does
yeah,
have all the
yeah,
skins.
EA
Yeah.
bought every skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know like.
Well, what's worse is you can go see how much money you spent. I don't want to see
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I don't want to see that. You know?
I don't either. What? Oh god.
Wait, you
No,
didn't?
I'm
Did you
checking.
not know that?
I thought you could like not to the exact
No,
like
they
cent.
give you the exact cent, and that is what
Oh god.
makes me ill when I look at that. I think I
Yeah, I
have.
don't know if I'm gonna
I
look
think
at
I have
that.
like 1,500 spent on it, like US dollar, and I don't. I'm not that good to justify that. So.
No, I feel you.
I-
Oh my god.
I kind of wish I could see like my total amount of spent in gaming in total, because like man, as a kid I wasted so much money. I remember like I would
yeah.
just buy like a game, play it for like an hour, and then just completely stop playing it. Or I remember something I was really big into when I was playing CS:GO was I was really big into opening cases. So like every birthday or every like Christmas, I would get like $100 Steam card. I literally buy all the keys and just
Mhm.
like try to open case to get a knife. Never did. I've lost hundreds doing that. I know I've spent a lot of money playing Genshin Impact, probably more than Valorant actually.
Yeah,
Really?
that's enough of that game.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
my
no,
god.
that game's
Thousand.
few thousand probably. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, minimum.
Well, my problem is I will get on a game that I haven't grinded at all, and then I'll see that they have some sort of store system, and I'll start buying stuff before I even am actually fully immersed. When the Apex craze came out, I have like 7 or like 5 or 6 heirlooms, and I haven't touched Apex in like a month.
You know what? Originally, I remember before I joined C9 and CS, I was originally looking at Apex as like a
Really?
potential game I could play. And so I grinded Apex for a whole month, just nonstop playing, just grinding every day. And I spent quite a bit of money on the skin packs, I remember. And it was cause I played Wraith or whatever that character's name was, and you could
Mhm.
buy like you get like the dagger
Yeah,
as their melee weapon.
the kunai. Yeah.
Yeah, so not my proudest moment, but
I
it
didn't
is
know
what it
that.
is.
That's cool. Because I know Zoms was an Apex pro, and he's really good. I love watching him play Apex. Is that ever a thought in your head? Like before Valorant, was there any games that you were like, I'm gonna go pro in this one?
No, I'd say first like CS just really spoke to me when I first started playing it, and I
Mhm.
just really liked the concept of like how you could always feel like you're improving in some way.
Yeah.
And just like how in depth the game was, like the movement system kind of drew me in the most because I used to surf, I used to bunny hop, play mini games, a bunch of stuff. So just like seeing all that like little fine print details of the game and trying to like master each point was pretty fun. I remember though, like after I played CS for a few years, and I'm looking at like the Dota prize pools for the international.
Crowdfunding stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, man, I picked the wrong game. Like, seriously.
Those
I'm
Dota prize pools are
They're
insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll chime in really quickly though. Tyson is insane at like console games.
Really?
Like just I feel like you could have gone pro in like COD.
I
honestly.
used to play so much Call of Duty,
Yeah.
it was to the point where we would have birthday parties when we were younger, and my friends, we would all play COD on like the 4-player screen. It got to a point where my friends would actually ban me from playing at birthday parties because they didn't
It
want
was
to play
not
against
fun.
me. Yeah, they
Oh,
had no fun playing against me. So I ended up just being like, just like the emperor that just like sat down and watched like the kids play.
what was your what COD was that you played?
So my first Call of Duty was COD 4,
Okay.
and after that I played World at War, MW2, MW3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and then I quit at Ghost. So whenever Call of Duty Ghost came out, whenever Infinite War came out, I did not play any of those.
2013, I believe.
Yeah,
That's when I quit too. That's
like the
that was like my first
the
game.
glory days of Xbox for me.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was like Halo 3, Halo Reach, all the fun stuff.
No, it blew my mind. I remember like one of my cousins is like super into like COD, and so like when he found out that I was joining 100 Thieves, he was like super happy for me and everything. But I remember I was watching him play COD, and they were sticking and sliding to the wall, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is not what I remember it ever being." So it's like it's kind of funny how like so many things have changed like mechanically as well. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I just didn't know that. I mean, it makes sense. You're a gamer, but I think that's really interesting that you played COD as well, Kyedae?
I did, yeah. That was like my first like actual game that I ever played. But this is Valorant's my first PC FPS. But
Mhm.
I played COD with my dad. Like he bought the Xbox 360 for a Christmas present in like elementary school, and it was just the both of us that grinded it. And then I think we stopped because I started getting better than him. Is what he said. But yeah.
So how was that? Because I recently, I mean, within the past, I played the beta on Valorant, and but I was not good whatsoever. So, but I recently made the full switch. I haven't touched a controller in probably, I mean, getting close to a year. I don't really play games on controller ever.
Yeah.
But how is that for you to learn the mouse and keyboard?
For who? Which who's the
For,
question for?
for you, Kyedae.
You
For
Kyedae.
me?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're good.
Horrible. It was so bad. No aim assist. Like, what was this? Like, I actually had to use like my brain. Like, I remember I had to like learn the concept like crosshair placement. That was like my number one like most tricky thing. Like,
Same.
looking back at it now, I remember watching like when I first started playing with Tyson. Like the POV of me is literally still looking down at the ground, and it's like the funniest shit ever. But no, like it was definitely tricky. But like I've gotten super used to it to the point where it's like I think I'm better on mouse and keyboard almost than I am on like a remote. I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it.
Do you guys play any other games? I know you mentioned, is it Genshin or Genshin Impact?
Yeah, Genshin. I was playing Genshin for a little bit. It's kind of like just like anime
Mhm.
Breath of the Wild.
Mhm.
That's how I would describe the game. Like it's really it's like open world, you do what you want, you just like go explore, do missions. It's just really like lighthearted. And it's like a game I need personally like on the side because
Yeah.
gaming it's different when you're a pro player and stuff. When gaming actually becomes your job to a point, then you
Yeah.
might not enjoy all aspects of it rather than like when you were originally just playing the game for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine that aspect of it, honestly. Like, I still, like, even tell Tyson to this day, I'm like, I don't think I could ever be pro in anything. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's really cool that a lot of kids do want to do it, but I feel like it's really glorified and people don't really talk about the struggles and the, like, a lot of things that go into being a pro as well. And maybe for some, it'll be super easy and they could transition. But for me, like, seeing the outside of how it can affect people is just like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I agree with Kyedae. I do think that having pro gaming or having like content creation as like your dream career can it is very glorified in the aspect that you don't actually know and see the negatives, and only when you are in the position where you're an actual pro player, where you're like a pro streamer, you start to see like all the negative comments, because you got to realize you're still on the internet at the end of the day, and the internet is still like a very like anonymous place, and a lot of people, when they have monitor confidence, they say not the nicest comments.
Yeah, that is something that I did want to touch on, because you said not only being a pro player is glorified, but also content creation is extremely glorified, and
Sure.
people think it's all just, sunshine and rainbows, but not until recently, and obviously you guys have it on a more major scale than I do, but not recently has my stuff actually been seen. And I mean, it's not all bad, but there is a negative that people don't talk about or realize, especially when you're not a content creator at all. But how is that? This question is directed towards Kyedae. How is that for you to be thrown into it? What kind of negatives have you experienced? I mean, not only being a streamer, sorry for the long question, but not only being a streamer, but you're a female streamer, which also comes with more negatives.
Yeah, for sure. I remember like at the start of everything, I definitely like my legs were grabbed on by the ankles and just I was chucked into the deep end for sure. And having to really like adapt super quickly to, like starting off with a few thousand viewers as opposed to, like a few and growing and progressively like growing like a strong community, right? So it was really wish-washy at first, where like, like not a lot of people knew me, so I'd just get like a ton of hate, more than I'm sure like a lot of normal people would. And I'm super thankful for the position I'm in, for sure, because like I know there's a lot of people that dedicate so much like hard work and time into this, and I've had it so much easier, and I do know that, like I do. But it does come with a lot of hate at the start, for sure. I remember like people like, I don't want to touch like super into all of like the hate that I got, but I'd get called like gold digger or, like clout chaser and all this stuff. It was before like people really knew about Tyson and I's relationship. And it really pissed me off, I'm not gonna lie, because they would say these things without knowing anything about either of us or our relationship at all. But also it made sense because I didn't really talk about it at the time. But like now there's a lot more people that know about our relationship, and so like there's not that much comment about that sort of stuff. But on the topic of like females in gaming, I definitely have to admit it's more difficult. And it seems like gate kept in a sense, like where I feel like there's like the stigma where it's only men that are allowed gaming and stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm good at gaming. Like girls just want to have fun too, I'm sure not every guy is good at gaming either, and they just want to like take it casually and have fun. But like sometimes, like for myself, like I was never scared to like ever talk in voice call, because like I don't really give a shit. Like people can say whatever and like it doesn't bother me too much. But that being the reason why like a lot of girls like to watch me too, because I feel like a lot of them are kind of scared, and so like I try to be the voice for them at least, and to speak up if you're getting bullied and whatnot. And then there's other times where I just don't really give a shit and I don't care to chime in, because it just causes more drama and unnecessary stuff. But yeah, it's really tricky, I think. And I don't think anybody will ever get used to it, really. It's just like kind of get numb to it, if that makes sense. Like I remember when I first started, Tyson knows this for a fact, I would cry every night after streaming. Like it was bad. And it got to the point where I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I still have that sometimes too, where I'm like, I don't think I can do this. This is really not good mentally for me. Because I'm not like, I don't know. Stuff bothers me still. And I try to, like appease to the majority of my audience, but it really upsets me if like some people are like, oh, I don't really like you or whatever. But yeah, I've gotten better at kind of like ignoring it, not reading as many hate comments. That's one thing. I used to go on a clip on YouTube and just read all the comments, and it was like the absolute worst for my mental health. Tyson's like, shut that shit off and like stop reading it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't do anything good for you.
I during Kyedae's like upbringing and streaming and stuff, I just became like a counselor for her. So like every night I'd be like, oh, what's wrong? Like what's bothering you?
Yeah.
And naturally, like it's just like human, like it's very like human to like instantly when you look at two different things and you see like a positive and negative, you'll always focus more on like a negative, especially if it's directly related to yourself. So it's similar to the aspect of like, oh, if you go gamble at the casino, let's say you won $100, it's like, whoa, I won $100, cool. And then if you go to the casino, you lose $100, it'd be like, oh shit, like I just lost $100. So that feeling of loss rather than that feeling of gain is much higher weighted in just like the way your brain thinks naturally. So I've been like slowly telling Kyedae, like even though that there might be a majority of people that do give support, the hate will stand out like really frequently because it's really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Minority is very loud.
Which it definitely is, and but it's also I'm very glad to see I when I wrote my notes, I try not to form too many questions so it doesn't sound so scripted, but I did put something here that I did want to give both of you credit for, but I feel like you guys are really yourself and like you know like Kyedae, you are very very good at what you do, and you as a streamer, I said this before, but you're not just Tyson's boy or girlfriend. Sorry,
Yeah.
but you are like unapologetically yourself, and I appreciate that about both of you. That you know, Tyson, you might be a little bit more quiet, but I assume that's your personality, and you guys are both very good at what you do.
Oh, thank you so much. That actually means a lot to me. I don't know. Like yeah, I don't know what to say.
I
It's good.
I do want to touch on maybe one or two more things.
Yeah, of course.
I want to know when you're doing, because I assume you both are probably really busy, but when it comes to TikTok, do you upload your own stuff? No.
I have to tell you something. So I have a TikTok manager,
Okay.
but I do go on my account and I read like messages, and I'm the one who replies to them. But I have something about going back and watching myself that I can't do. It gives me like the ick. I don't know what it is. It's like hearing my own voice. It's just like, holy shit, seeing myself on camera. Like, I can't do it. I don't know why. Like, I can watch maybe like a minute or something, or like a few seconds, and I'm just like, please just stop. But yeah, my TikTok manager is like really, really nice where, he sends me like all the clips before he edits them. And he's like, what do you think of these? Are you good at these, or do you not want these? And I just like click on it and just see what it is. It's like yay or nay. But that's like I'm happy that it's that way because I can't.
I don't know if you noticed this or not, but I commented on one of your TikToks the other day. It was the Omen one, and I was like, Omen outplay. That's what I said on it when you did the TP. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good clip. I enjoy both of your guys' TikToks very well, and or very much. Do you probably don't upload your own stuff, do you?
I used to. So originally I was uploading my own Instagram and I don't think I did TikTok. So I did Instagram at first, and the thing about me is I'm very particular about clips. If I'm uploading them, I need them to be like perfect for like my eyes to see them as like impressive, like impressive enough to like show people. So like the 360 clip, that clip was like that's a clip I can be proud of. Whereas like other clips, maybe like to someone who hasn't played Valorant as much, they might see it and be like, "Whoa, like that was awesome." But I've played so much Counter-Strike, I played so much Valorant where I'm not too sure like what makes a clip stand out. And so I was just really picky and particular about stuff, and therefore I'd like upload one clip a month, two clips every 3 months or something like that. So
Can't relate, man.
yeah, I had to I definitely had to get someone to pick out stuff that impresses people because I'm not too sure like what's because like I have my own standards for like myself, I'll say.
Yeah, which it makes sense. But I promise you that a lot of the stuff I see from you, everything I see from you, especially that your grid shot is.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I've showed people your grid shot, and I
Makes me
almost
nauseous.
yeah. My mom said the same thing. But I almost you just can't even understand it. When you're looking at it, you can't understand how your mind is going that quickly.
Wait, Texture, do you want me to know, like, do you want to know, like, what he says to me, like,
Yeah.
about, like, advice for it? He
Yeah.
goes, you zone out, don't look at any of the dots specifically, and just click it. And I'm like, and you know, it's funny, it actually kind of works. Like, you kind of zone out and, like, go blurry vision, and you just, like, click everything.
Yeah.
And so instead of, like, hyper-focusing on everything, but, like,
So like yeah, when I go back and like if I look on a grid shot thing, like yeah, I'd be like, wow, actually is pretty fast. But like in the moments when I'm doing it, to me, it personally doesn't feel that fast because like I grab my mouse, I look at the screen, and then suddenly like I just like everything goes blank, and I'm just like oh, like moving my arm around. Like I don't have to think about it at all. I don't have to be like, oh, there's a ball here, there's a ball there. Like literally, how I see it is my brain draws a pattern. So I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna flick to this ball, this ball, this ball, and then because there will be new balls spawning, it'll create like a new pattern. So that's like the way I can describe it, and my hand just automatically does it for me. I don't really know how to.
that's crazy.
I don't know how to describe it that like that, but I mean, over thousands of hours of games, I mean, I hope I can be somewhat decent at something.
Yeah, I am glad that you both have said my name, because my TikTok my negative comments come from that I don't actually do this stuff. That's my biggest thing, especially with the Valorant voice actors. Everyone says that they're all fake, and then I dub my face over them. So I'm very glad.
What?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody on TikTok. We are talking to Texture. This is not fake, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank you.
gosh.
Yeah, I get
What the heck?
thousands of comments of how do we. One of the things that it was kind of like a backhanded compliment. Someone commented, "How do we let this guy get famous? He doesn't even do it." I was like, "Well, I mean."
But you no. Here's the thing. They can say that, but they don't realize what goes behind the scenes and like getting all of this put together, getting all of the, like
yeah,
talking to other people, getting all of like the questions, everything like
Yeah.
that in itself is a talent. And
I
like
appreciate that.
just like super annoying when people talk shit over
Yeah,
like
it's
every
whatever.
little thing.
That's whatever.
I like the mentality. It's whatever. For me,
I'll-
it's just like I could go on and on about.
I'll definitely say you do have like talent for it, because if you can make me talk, then that's impressive. Because Kyedae knows this. I'm a super introvert. Like I don't like talking at all. Like before for interviews and stuff, I'd never give like a two letter answer. Like I'll be like yeah or something like that. So if you can make me feel like natural in a call and make me kind of express my thoughts, then definitely you're doing a great job. So keep it up.
That means the absolute world to me. Yeah, that made me speechless. Well, I don't even know what to say to that. That was the ultimate compliment. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I do want to one more thing. Either and if you guys don't have an answer for this. Oh, I just muted myself. If you don't have an answer to this, it's fine. But either what is some advice that you would like to share to me personally, or just out loud that you've received that is very good advice, in your opinion. If you need a moment to think about it or whatever, it is okay.
There's two quotes that I have actually.
Are they stolen by me?
One of them could have been. One of them is definitely stolen by you. But one of them is hurt people. So by that, it just means like a lot of the hate that you get could be out of insecurity or projection of other people onto you. You know, not even that. Maybe they just do it out of enjoyment. That's what I've found out. And the best thing you really can do is ignore it. And I know it's really, really difficult because I'm really bad at that. And I shouldn't necessarily give advice on that, but you know, just know what you're doing is really, really awesome, right? And at least for us, but people are gonna hate regardless of what you do. You could like donate millions to charity and people will still have something to complain about. And then another one is ignorance is bliss.
That's my quote.
Yeah. That one, like I've lived by that since I started streaming. Like sometimes, oh God, sometimes you have to seriously just ignore so much to just be happy. Not necessarily ignoring like important things and like running away from them, but just, I don't know, Tyson, you want to add on to this?
It's just like definitely like I live by the ignorance is bliss concept the most, and it's more of like life is what you make it, and really if you make life in simpler terms, it just feels a lot better and your life is more simple. It's as simple as that. So that's what I personally live by, and for me it definitely helped a lot in situations that felt complicated. I would just ignore a lot of stuff and just live life the way I want to live it.
Yeah, getting too emotionally involved in stuff can really hurt you in the end. Is what it is. Like you have to find like a detachment in a sense to this job, like because a lot of people do know like about your personal life, or at least for me, like they know a lot about our relationship and stuff like that, but you kind of have to like detach from all of it and just, you know, people are going to have opinions regardless of how nice you are or, you know, whatever, but that's just what comes with the job, I guess. So.
I do want to say something about both of you very quickly. You are both very genuine people, and you made me feel very comfortable. I don't have a lot of experience with meeting people who don't exceed my expectation, but sometimes these creators, they're not the greatest people, and you guys have 110% exceeded my expectations. You are both amazing, and I thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. That's super, super sweet. No, I felt like this was just like a hangout, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what's really good. And like I'll preface like what Tyson said before too. Like I said before, especially like in interviews and other stuff, getting him to like talk and feel really comfortable is difficult. So props to you again.
Oh, that's great. It's kind of what I do, but I'm glad that I'm doing it decently well. That is all I got for you guys. I appreciate it so very much, and I'm gonna end off the podcast here. This is Kyedae and TenZ. Thank you guys for a great episode, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.